Recall the power rule. If you have y equals x to the power n, y prime is n x to the power n minus 1. Now, if we have the composite function as y equals the gx raised to the power n, then divide by dx by applying the power rule, which is called the general power rule, will be the power n multiplied by the function gx raised to the power n minus 1 and multiplied by g prime of x, provided g prime of x exists. When using the general power rule, remember that the order of the steps will be the first one. Apply the power rule to the entire function, which is the outer function, some quantity raised to the power n, then multiply by the derivative of the gx. Example 4. Using the general power rule, find the derivative of each of the following functions. Y equals x to the second plus 8x raised to the power 10. The power 10, the inner function is x squared plus 8x. And still consider this as the function f composed with the g. The inner function will be the gx. Okay, so the y prime is, by applying the general power rule, the power 10 as a coefficient multiplied by the inner function raised to the power 10 minus 1 multiplied by the derivative of the function g, which is 2x plus 8. And the input here is x squared plus 8x. Simplify to get 10 multiplied by x squared plus 8x to the power 9 multiplied by 2x plus 8. It can be simplified a little bit more. Wait, 2x plus 8, you can factor 2 out. You have 2 times x plus 4. 2 and 10 multiply to be the new coefficient as 20 multiplied by x squared plus 8x to the power 9 and multiplied by x plus 4, which is another simplified form of the solution or the derivative of the y. Next example, we have y equals 6 multiplied by the cube root of 2x plus 5. We write this as the power 1/3, so we get 6 multiplied by the quantities 2x plus 5 raised to the power 1/3. Applying the general power rule, the power is 1/3. Be careful with the constant multiple. So y prime or divided by dx, the constant multiple doesn't change. So multiply by the power, which is 1/3, and then multiply by 2x plus 5 raised to the power 1/3 minus 1. Multiply by the derivative of the 2x plus 5, which is 2. As you consider, the inner function here is the gx. So this is the g prime of x. And same as we consider y as the f of gx. So y prime is the derivative of the f multiplied by the derivative of the g. And then simplify a little bit more. 6 and 3 reduce to be 2. 2 and 2 becomes 4. The new power of 2x plus 5 is negative 2/3. Now we get the negative power. Just rewrite it in the positive power by making as the reciprocal. So it becomes 4 divided by 2x plus 5 raised to the power 2/3 as the derivative of the y. In this example, use the general power rule to find f prime of u if f of u is 1 over square root of 7 minus u. Square root of 2 is the square root of 7 minus u, sorry, is the same as 7 minus u to the power 1 half. You have the reciprocal. We can rewrite it as the power negative 1 half. Now we see the power function as the power is negative 1 over 2. The inner function is 7 minus u. So that's the one that we are going to multiply at the end with its derivative. So to find f prime at u, f prime at u is the derivative of the outer function, which is the general power function form with the power negative 1 half. So negative 1 half, the quantity raised to the power negative 1 half minus 1 and multiplied by the derivative of 7 minus u, which is negative 1. So this is the derivative of 7 minus u, or the derivative of the inner function. And the inner function still see as the input of the derivative of the outer function. And then simplify the numbers. Negative 1 half times 1 becomes 1 half multiplied by 7 minus u to the power negative 3 over 2. We write it as the positive power. Negative 3 half power becomes 1 over 7 minus u to the power 3 over 2. And then write it in a better form as 1 over 2 multiplied by 7 minus u to the power 3 over 2.